Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alina, I'm an author and I post videos on YouTube about books and writing. And today I'm back with my bullet journal setup for August, but before that, let's just see how I did in July. As you can see, I started strong and then everything went to hell because I got sick. Seeing how I'm filming this in the 2 hours where I can breathe normally, you might have figured that out. I did edit a lot and released a lot of my books that were supposed to go wide, and in the first half of the month I did read enough to meet both challenges of 6 books and one of them to be non-fiction. And yeah, here you can see a mass of red, which indicates where I got really sick and couldn't do stuff, and it's the same for my time-restricted eating. I started doing weekly spreads in July and I found them to be extremely useful, but again, when I got sick, not so much happening. But oh well, this too shall pass. And now let's move to the August setup. I don't usually have a quote page, but because I'm changing a few things about my layout for August, I needed something to fill this page. I already had this watercolor done for a different page and I thought I could use that with a quote. And I chose this one, which fits this month, I guess, because now I have to deal with the aftermath of being sick for so long and focus on how I react to things that happen to me, as not always all news are great and not always plans are something I can keep, because yeah, I'm behind. I'm always behind. Oh man. And here is the actual welcome page for August. I have another watercolor circular sort of picture that apparently I can't fit where I wanted to. I was inspired by the Frugal Crafter to do these, and I love how they turned out and how they look. Plus, it allows me to have watercolor when my bullet journal would probably not hold watercolor that well. And now, speaking of the changes I'm doing to the layout, I've merged my releases and sales promotions for the month with the time-restricted eating journal I keep, because I just needed to set up my journal in a more meaningful way. And although I've enjoyed the page dedicated to my releases and my discounts and everything else, it just isn't enough for a full page, and I think this one will be just as useful. As for the time-restricted eating thing, I'm hoping to do a little better in August. July was a disaster for that because I'm on a 12-hour schedule with my antibiotics, so I can't do anything of the sort. But it's minor. I can deal with it. I tried something interesting on the titles. I wanted to do a bit of a silver thing. It didn't work out, so I went to black. Maybe it's because I wasn't feeling well, but I did quite a few mistakes in this one. Not that I'm too stressed about it, but let's see how it goes. One thing I did this month is to use the colors I've chosen for the theme, which were pretty much inspired by the 2 watercolors I did, and use those in the actual trackers, which I didn't use the month before. But I like it when a page has a more of a monochromatic theme, and you'll see this as we proceed. I'm doing the exact same writing tracker I've done before. Hopefully August is the 1 month where I fill it out. I had a good start in July, like I said earlier, but then everything changed when I got this sick, and I didn't write very much. I'm so behind, it's getting a bit uncomfortable, but at least I'm on track with my releases. I somehow got all the editing done, so we'll see how it goes next month. I've enjoyed having more color into this spread last month, so you will once again see me color my doodles. I was thinking of trying just colored pencils. I had them next to me on my desk, but I thought I should just try my normal pens, the dual tip ones, and see if those brushes are enough. And as you'll see in a few seconds, that turned out pretty nice, and I'm going to keep doing this, at least for as long as I still have this bullet journal, because the Leuchtturm one seems to have a lot thinner paper, so we'll see how that one works. But yeah, the fruit I went with, because yeah, maybe I should have announced the theme for this bullet journal, right? I went with fruit, most of them summery fruit that I enjoy a lot, like cherries and watermelon and strawberries, and a few citrusy touches, because I feel like lemon and lime are great in the summertime, especially in drinks. And the orange, well, I was going for a grapefruit, but it looks more like an orange in the initial watercolor, is because I've been drinking a lot of grapefruit juice. I drink a sugar-free one, but yeah, that's what I've been drinking for weeks. So it might not be the summariest of fruit, but it works for me, okay? Again, the editing and publishing tracker is virtually unchanged. The only change I made was to just go with editing and publishing for titles. I do not have a common title to cover both sections anymore, but I've been drawing the same shelves with books on them, and I color them in as I publish. I still have a few books to publish during this month, but August will be the month where I finish going wide. All my books will be released on all ebook vendors, and I can't wait for that, to be honest, because it's been a very difficult process. For the books to read, the writing tracker, and the editing and publishing tracker, I try to draw more books than I will need, because it doesn't bother me if they're not all colored in. It does bother me if I have nothing to color. So yeah, I've really enjoyed these fruit doodles. I like doing them. I've enjoyed the pens for them, so that's probably going to return, and I hope you like them too. And here's the long cherry. I was thinking this will look really unappealing when I did them in pencil, but I was wrong. And we're now at my books spread. This is where I track what I've read, and I do track pages read per day, and I color in the books when I'm done with one of them. I stole the stack of books idea from Books and Lala, and I will link her channel in the description. I'm sure I've linked it before, but you know, she's always publishing great content. So if you're into booktube videos, I definitely recommend you watch her. I again went with, I don't know how many there are here, I think there are 12 books, and I have room to write in 15 actually, because I do not want to be caught off guard as it happened before. This month I would have been if I would have just gone with my expected goal number of books, because you know, I've only read 6 and probably I'm going to finish one more, but that's because I've been too sick to even read the past 2 weeks. So yeah, I started freehanding stuff here because I thought it might be cool. You'll see how far along I got with freehanding, because I'm really not that good at drawing straight lines. I just no. For this specific page, I decided not to color in the doodles because there will be a lot of color on these pages. There will be the stacks that are colored and also the tracker for pages read per day, so I thought keeping the doodles simple would make more sense. And now we're at my mood tracker, and this is where my choice for the month will be quite obvious. That's of using colors from the fruit inspired theme in the actual trackers, because last month I just went with the color codes I was used to. This month I just wanted to look nicer, and we'll see how that goes. I chose enough tones of red, some more purplish, other more pinkish. I don't know, I think I have an orange, a red orange there as well, an orangey red I should say. And I think the mood tracker will look brilliant once I'm done with it. By the way, if you want to see how I'm doing and don't want to wait until next month's bullet journal setup to see how these looks filled in, I've started doing something this month, and that's doing a mid-month flip through so you can see how the bullet journal is working and how I'm using it. And I post that on my Instagram. And if you want to follow me, my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, all my social media are linked in the description down below. But yeah, I'd appreciate seeing you on Instagram. It's one of the social media channels where I'm very active, and I use it a lot for inspiration, and I watch a lot of YouTube content for inspiration as well. So yeah, here's where my journey with freehanding stopped. I've decided the only place where there's room for freehanding is my weekly spread, because I always do those by freehanding them. But for these tables I really need the rigorous straight lines, so I'm going to stick with that for the time being. When I have more experience drawing all of this and it doesn't look like a toddler drew those lines, I'll probably try it again, but for now I'll stick with what I know works. But the mood tracker, I did complete it by freehanding, because at this point adding straight lines between the others would have just looked even worse, or so I thought. And then I blocked out these lines where there's nothing to fill in. I think it looks kind of okay, I don't know. I kind of regretted that choice after making it, and I will probably turn them into a solid color at some point. Depends how it looks when I've filled in a few days. But yeah, that's it. And we're moving on to my social media tracking. First, the tracker for my posts. I track my blogs, my Facebook accounts, well, my Facebook pages, I should say, for my writing and for Eyes on Books, which is my book blog. I do track Instagram and Missing Letter, which is a great tool to set up ongoing promotion on your social media for blog posts. They have these year-long campaigns where they keep posting your content, so you can increase the readership of one post as time goes by. And I've been using that for almost everything I've posted on my author site and on my book blog. I changed the YouTube format a bit, as you've seen here, simply because I tried a few things. It didn't look exactly how I wanted it, so then by the third try I just improvised. But at the end I was happy with how it turned out. I just have these boxes for each day of the month, and I will use the same color coding method I had before. See, another mistake, I told you. I did a lot of them while filming this. So yeah, I'm using these 3 cherries, which you'll see better when I turn the page, and those will have the color codes, and I have a color code for videos that I publish. I have a color code for when I live stream, and another one for when I'm appearing as a guest on someone else's channel. I haven't been around YouTube a lot, not as often as I usually am on YouTube, this month and the month before. This month was a lot worse and I feel kind of bad about it. So if I feel well enough and recovered enough, by the time August starts, I'll probably do Vida, because I feel like I'm behind with content and there are so many things I want to share with you, but then kind of hard to do if I'm super sick and I don't film. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully nothing screws up my plans again, because I'm over that, to be honest. I'm really over that. Based on the doodles I've done, I think you can guess which of the summer fruit is my absolute favorite, because it's the one I've done the most. And yeah, that's the watermelon, because I just love watermelon. That said, I haven't had a bite of watermelon this summer. I don't know why. There are plenty of places to buy it from that are 2 minutes away from my house, but oh well. So here's the new weekly spread, and this is the reason why I've changed everything else around, because I want to go with a full spread per week. And the reason for that is that I've completely filled out my first gratitude journal. I had a pretty small notebook for that, and I filled it out. And I decided to migrate gratitude journaling into my bullet journal so that I have less journals to worry about. At this point, I have the bullet journal, the gratitude journal, which is a tiny notebook, granted, but still it's a different notebook, and my journal, my main journal that I write my thoughts in every morning over coffee. So now I've incorporated the gratitude in this spread, so I've switched it to a 2-page layout, and I decided to also add a focus for each week, something I want to focus on in that specific week. It's not an activity that lasts for a week necessarily, it's an activity that I want to focus on so that I can build a habit and then continue doing it in the weeks to come. And as you can see here, I do gratitude journaling 3 times a week, because it's advice I've received, because apparently if you do it daily it doesn't have the same impact. If you do it 3 times a week, it has more impact on you and your brain and your state of being. So I thought I'd try that. I've been doing it for a few months and it did help with my mood. And if you noticed, the Wednesday box, I did not color it in as I was supposed to, and I did not see this for the rest of the time I spent filming this video. But here it is, the final flip through. I'm pretty happy with how this theme worked out. I love the colors. I think they're so summery and bright and colorful, and yeah, the colors are colorful. Alina, great. I'm sorry, I'm sick. My brain is not working right, but I do hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, do like it and share it and comment down below and let me know if you bullet journal, if you want to. If you do bullet journal, did you set up for August already? Do you do weeklies? What theme did you choose for this month? Because I had a hard time deciding. And yeah, that's it for now. I'll see you soon, hopefully feeling a lot better. Bye!